I sat in a room with my 5 siblings watching my brother confess to our stepfather's murder. The lie detector said he was telling the truth. 60 seconds later, he was executed by an automated system, a lethal injection that killed him in front of us while we screamed and pounded on the reinforced glass. The game was simple. Reveal family secrets, earn money toward your inheritance. Tell the truth and you win. Lie and you die. But here's what we didn't know. The machine was backwards. Truth meant death. Lies meant survival. My name is Victoria Harrison, and this is the story of the most twisted inheritance game ever created, how my family's darkest secrets destroyed us, and how I discovered that sometimes protecting the people you love means lying for them. The invitation arrived exactly 1 week after my stepfather's funeral. You are cordially invited to the estate settlement of Jonathan Harrison. Your presence is mandatory. Bring no one. Tell no one. Failure to attend will result in complete disinheritance. The address was a private estate in the mountains outside Denver, a property I'd never heard of. The date was 3 days away. I called my siblings. All 5 had received identical invitations. "This is weird, right?" my younger sister Claire said over the phone. "Dad's been dead a week and we're being summoned to some secret location?" "It's probably just the will reading," I said, though I didn't believe it. Jonathan Harrison had been a successful tech entrepreneur worth approximately $3 billion. His will would be read at his lawyer's office, not some mysterious estate. "I don't like it," my older brother Marcus said during a conference call with all 6 of us. "Something feels off." But none of us wanted to risk losing our inheritance. So we all agreed to go. Jonathan Harrison had been my stepfather for 12 years, since I was 16. He'd married my mother when she was dying of cancer, giving her 2 comfortable final years before she passed. After Mom's death, Jonathan had legally adopted me and my 2 siblings, Claire and David. He already had 3 biological children from his first marriage, Marcus, Elena, and Thomas, making 6 of us total. We'd never been a close family. The biological kids resented us for replacing their mother. We resented them for treating us like outsiders. Jonathan had tried to unite us, but money and old wounds made that impossible. Now Jonathan was dead, heart attack at 62, and we were being called to claim our inheritance. The estate was a modern glass and steel structure built into the mountainside. Remote, isolated, beautiful in a sterile, unwelcoming way. A woman in a black suit met us at the entrance. "Welcome, I'm Andrea Chen, executor of Mr. Harrison's estate. Please follow me." She led us through the house to a large room that looked like a bizarre hybrid of a boardroom and a game show set. 6 chairs arranged in a circle. Cameras mounted in every corner. A large screen on one wall. And in the center of the room, a strange device. A chair with a headset, wires, and what looked like medical monitoring equipment. "What is this?" Marcus demanded. Andrea gestured to the chairs. "Please sit. Everything will be explained." Once we were seated, the screen flickered to life. Jonathan's face appeared, clearly recorded before his death. "Hello, my children. If you're watching this, I'm dead, and you're about to participate in the final test I've designed for you." My stomach dropped. "I've spent 12 years watching you compete, backstab, and tear each other apart over money that isn't even yours yet. I've seen you lie to me, lie to each other, and destroy any chance of becoming a real family." Jonathan's recorded face looked sad, disappointed. "So I've created a game, an auction where the currency is truth. Each of you will take turns sitting in that chair and revealing a family secret. Something real, something true, something you've hidden. The lie detector will verify your truthfulness. If you tell the truth, you earn money toward your inheritance. If you lie, you're eliminated." "Eliminated?" Claire whispered. "The heir who accumulates the most money wins the largest share of my estate. Second place gets the second largest share, and so on. The person eliminated first gets nothing." The screen went dark for a moment. Then Jonathan's face reappeared, his expression grave. But here's the catch. The secrets must be significant. Small truths earn small money. Big secrets, the kind that destroy families, earn big money. You must choose: protect each other with silence or betray each other for wealth. You have 12 hours to complete the game. The auction begins now. Good luck, my children. I hope you choose wisely. The screen went black. We sat in stunned silence. This is insane, David said. He was my younger brother, 26, the gentlest of us. We're not actually going to do this, right? We don't have a choice, Marcus said. You heard him. Participate or get nothing. So we just tell family secrets? Air our dirty laundry for money? That's exactly what we do, Elena said. She was 38, Jonathan's eldest, and the most ruthless of us. The question is, who goes first? Andrea stepped forward. Mr. Harrison specified the order, youngest to oldest. Claire, you're first. Claire went pale. She was 24, just out of college, sweet and naive. What if I don't know any secrets? Then you'll be eliminated quickly. Please take the seat. Claire sat in the chair, and Andrea fitted the headset onto her. The monitoring equipment hummed to life, displaying her heart rate, breathing, and what looked like brain activity patterns. How does this work? Claire asked, her voice shaking. Simply speak your secret aloud. The system will analyze your physiological responses and determine if you're telling the truth. Truth earns money. Lies trigger elimination. What does elimination mean? Andrea didn't answer. Claire, I said, trying to sound reassuring. Just tell something true. Something small. Get through this round. Claire took a deep breath. Okay, when I was 16, I stole $200 from Dad's wallet to buy concert tickets. I told him I'd earned it babysitting, but I didn't. I stole it. The machine beeped. The screen lit up. True. $10,000 awarded. Congratulations, Andrea said. You've earned $10,000 toward your inheritance. Next contestant. David went next. He sat in the chair looking nervous. When I was in high school, I crashed Dad's Mercedes. I told him someone hit it in a parking lot, but really I was driving drunk. I paid for the repairs with money I stole from Marcus's college fund. The machine beeped. True. $25,000 awarded. $25,000, Andrea said. A more significant secret. Next. I was third. I sat in the chair, my mind racing. What could I reveal? What was significant enough to earn real money, but not so devastating that it would destroy my relationships with my siblings? When I was 18, I had an affair with Marcus's fiancée. We slept together 3 times before she married him. I never told anyone. Marcus stood up from his chair. What? Victoria, you... The machine beeped. True. $50,000 awarded. You bitch, Marcus said. Sarah and I were together for 5 years. You destroyed my marriage before it even started. It was a decade ago, Marcus, and she came on to me. That doesn't make it better. Next contestant, Andrea said calmly, as if we weren't falling apart. Thomas, please take the seat. Thomas was 35, quiet, analytical. He sat in the chair and adjusted the headset. I killed our stepfather. The room went silent. What? Elena breathed. Jonathan didn't die of a heart attack. I poisoned him. Arsenic in his morning coffee for 3 months. Small doses building up until his heart gave out. I killed him to speed up the inheritance. The machine analyzed his words. The screen flickered. False. Before anyone could react, the chair reconfigured. Metal bands snapped around Thomas's wrists and ankles, trapping him. Wait, Thomas started to say. A needle extended from the headrest and plunged into his neck. Thomas convulsed once, twice, then went still. Thomas! Elena screamed. The bands released. Thomas's body slumped forward. Andrea checked his pulse. Deceased, Eliminated for lying. You killed him, Marcus shouted. You actually killed him. The rules were clear, Andrea said. Truth equals reward. Lies equal elimination. Please move the body to the side. The game continues. We were in shock. Thomas's body lay on the floor, covered with a sheet Andrea had provided. My brother was dead, executed by a machine for lying about killing our stepfather. We need to leave, Claire said, crying. We need to call the police. This is murder. The doors are locked, Marcus said. He'd been checking while Andrea moved Thomas's body. Every exit, reinforced, steel. We're trapped. Then we break a window. Bulletproof glass. I already tried. We were trapped in this nightmare. The game continues, Andrea said. Elena, you're next. I'm not sitting in that chair, Elena said. You just murdered my brother. Your brother murdered himself by lying. If you refuse to participate, you're automatically eliminated. Same penalty. You'll kill me for refusing. Those are Mr. Harrison's rules. Elena looked at Thomas's covered body, then at the rest of us. This is insane. Jonathan was insane. Perhaps, but he was also very wealthy. $3 billion for those who complete the game. 0 for those who don't. Your choice. Elena sat in the chair, her hands trembling. I'll tell you a truth, a real one. When I was 23, I got pregnant. Jonathan paid for the abortion and made me promise never to tell anyone. It was his child. My father and I, we had an affair that lasted 2 years. I felt sick. The room spun. The machine analyzed her words. True. $200,000 awarded. You and Dad? Claire whispered, horrified. It started when I was 21. He was lonely after the divorce. I was angry at the world. It just happened. And it kept happening. The pregnancy was an accident. He paid for everything and then ended it. That's incest, David said. That's a $200,000 secret, Andrea interrupted. Next contestant, Marcus. Marcus sat in the chair, his face hard with anger and disgust. You want secrets? Fine. I'll give you a secret. Victoria's affair with Sarah wasn't the worst thing that happened before my wedding. Sarah was pregnant when we got married. She told me it was mine. It wasn't. She had an abortion during our honeymoon and told me she'd miscarried from stress. He looked at me. It was your baby, wasn't it? You got her pregnant and she chose me anyway. I couldn't meet his eyes. The machine beeped. True. $75,000 awarded. I hate you, Marcus said to me. I've hated you since the day Jonathan adopted you. You're not my sister. You're a homewrecker and a liar. The feeling's mutual, I said, surprised by how much his words hurt. Next contestant, Andrea said. Claire. Claire was crying as she sat down. I don't have secrets like this. I don't have anything dark or terrible. I'm just normal. Then reveal something about someone else, Andrea suggested. A secret you know about a family member. Claire wiped her eyes. David is gay. He's been hiding it his whole life because Jonathan was homophobic. David has had a boyfriend for 3 years. They live together. David told everyone his roommate is just a friend. The machine analyzed this. True. $40,000 awarded. David stood up. Claire, how could you... I'm sorry, I didn't know what else to say. They were going to kill me. That was my secret to tell. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Next contestant, Andrea said. It was my turn again. I sat in the chair, my mind reeling from everything I'd learned. Elena and Jonathan's incest, Marcus's hatred, Claire exposing David's secret. We were destroying each other for money. But something was bothering me. Something about the pattern of what the lie detector was registering as true versus false. Thomas had claimed he killed Jonathan. False. But Jonathan had died of a heart attack. That was confirmed by doctors. So Thomas's confession was obviously a lie, and the machine had detected it correctly. But then why did I feel like something was wrong? Your secret, Victoria, Andrea prompted. I needed to buy time to think. When I was 20, I was arrested for drug possession. Jonathan bailed me out and expunged my record. He never told anyone. I was supposed to go to prison for 3 years. The machine beeped. True. $60,000 awarded. Wait, that secret was a complete lie. I'd never been arrested, never done drugs. I'd made it up to test something. The machine had registered my lie as truth. Next contestant, Andrea said. But I wasn't listening anymore. My mind was racing. The machine was backwards. Lies registered as true. Truths registered as false. Thomas hadn't lied about killing Jonathan. He'd told the truth. Or at least what he believed was the truth, and the machine had killed him for it. Elena's incest story? Probably a lie, but registered as true. Marcus's accusation about Sarah's pregnancy? Also likely a lie. Claire outing David? Possibly the only actual truth told so far. The whole game was inverted. Jonathan was testing whether we'd protect each other with lies or destroy each other with truths. And we were failing spectacularly. David took the chair, still angry at Claire for exposing him. You want a secret? Mother didn't die of cancer. She killed herself. Overdose on pain medication. She left a note saying she couldn't stand living anymore, that the cancer was just an excuse. Jonathan found her and covered it up to protect us. But I saw the note. I know the truth. The machine beeped. False. The bands snapped around David's wrists. No, I screamed. David, that was the truth. The machine is backwards. The needle extended. Stop! I lunged from my chair, but Marcus grabbed me. The needle plunged into David's neck. My brother convulsed and died while I screamed. The machine is backwards, I shouted at Andrea. Truth equals death. Lies equal survival. That's the test. Andrea's expression didn't change. The rules are clear. Truth equals reward. Lies equal elimination. But it's inverted. Jonathan inverted the detector. He wanted to see if we'd lie to protect each other or tell truth that would destroy us. That's an interesting theory. Would you like to test it? Thomas died because he told the truth about killing Jonathan. David died because he told the truth about our mother. The machine killed them for being honest. Marcus released me. Victoria, what are you saying? I'm saying we've been playing the game wrong. Jonathan set up a backwards lie detector. When it says true, it means you lied. When it says false, it means you told the truth. He was testing our character. Would we protect the family with lies or destroy it with honesty? That's insane, Elena said, but she looked uncertain. Think about it. Elena, you said you had an affair with Jonathan. That's a lie, isn't it? A horrible, disgusting lie designed to make us hate you and Jonathan. But you told it, the machine said true, and you earned money. Because you lied. Elena looked away. Yes, I lied. Jonathan and I never had an affair. I made it up because I thought that's what the game wanted. Shocking secrets. I didn't know it would kill Thomas. Marcus, Sarah's pregnancy, was that real? Marcus shook his head. No, Sarah was never pregnant. I made it up to hurt you because you hurt me with the affair confession. Which was also a lie, I admitted. I never slept with Sarah. I lied to earn money, just like you did. Claire was crying again. David being gay? That was true. I told the truth and it got him killed. Exactly. The machine is backwards. Jonathan wanted to see if we'd sacrifice truth for family unity, or sacrifice family for personal gain. And we've been failing. Andrea finally spoke. Congratulations, Victoria. You figured out the test. You are correct. The lie detector operates in reverse. Lies register as truth. Truths register as falsehood. Then David and Thomas are alive? You didn't actually kill them? The executions appeared real, but were theatrical. Your brothers are alive, sedated, and safe in another room. They'll wake up after the game concludes. Relief flooded through me. Thank God. So what happens now? Now you must decide what to do with this knowledge. The game continues. 2 more rounds. You can reveal the truth about the detector to the others or keep it to yourself. Choose wisely. I looked at my remaining siblings, Marcus, Elena, and Claire. They were all watching me, waiting to see what I'd do. If I revealed the detector's reversal, we could all lie strategically and survive. But it would also mean exposing Jonathan's test, defeating the purpose. If I stayed silent, someone else might tell the truth and die. But it would be real death this time, because they'd been warned. Victoria? Claire said. You figured it out. What do we do? I don't know, I admitted. You have to tell us how to survive, Marcus said. We're family. We protect each other. Are we? Family? We've spent the last hour destroying each other, revealing awful things, some true, some lies, just to win money. Is that what family does? Jonathan forced us into this, Elena said. This isn't our fault. Isn't it? He gave us a choice. Tell truths that hurt or lies that protect. And we all chose to hurt. Every single one of us. Next contestant, Andrea said. Marcus, you're up again. Marcus looked at me. Tell me what to do. Lie or truth? I hesitated. This was the real test. Did I help my siblings cheat the game, or did I let them make their own choices, the way Jonathan intended? I can't tell you that, I said finally. You have to decide for yourself what kind of person you want to be. Marcus's jaw tightened. Fine, I'll figure it out myself. He sat in the chair. Here's the truth, Marcus said. I've embezzled from Jonathan's company for 5 years. $2 million total. I hid it in offshore accounts. He never knew. The machine beeped. False? The bands snapped around Marcus's wrists. Wait, Marcus shouted. I was lying. I made it up. I never embezzled anything. But the needle was already extending. Stop, Elena screamed. He's lying. He told a lie. That means it should register as true. He should survive. The needle paused, millimeters from Marcus's neck. Andrea looked at me. Victoria, your brother is claiming he lied. Did he? All eyes turned to me. I knew the truth. Marcus really had embezzled from the company. I'd discovered it years ago and kept quiet. His confession was genuine. If I confirmed he was lying, the machine would spare him. But I'd be lying myself. If I confirmed he was telling the truth, the machine would kill him. But I'd be honest. He told the truth, I said quietly. Marcus really did embezzle money. I'm sorry, Marcus. I can't lie about this. The needle plunged into his neck. Marcus convulsed, then went still. No! Elena rushed to him, checking for a pulse. You killed him. Victoria, you killed him. The rules are absolute, Andrea said. Truth equals elimination. Marcus told the truth about his embezzlement. He's been eliminated. But unlike before, there was no finality in Andrea's voice. I noticed she didn't check Marcus's pulse, didn't cover his body. He wasn't dead. This was still theater. But my siblings didn't know that. How could you? Elena demanded, tears streaming down her face. He was our brother. He was a thief, I said. He stole from Jonathan for years. I couldn't lie about that. So you chose honesty over family? You let him die for money? I let him die because telling the truth matters. Even when it costs everything? I looked at Marcus's body, then at Andrea, who gave me the slightest nod. Confirmation that he was alive. But I couldn't tell Elena. That would ruin Jonathan's test. Yes, I said. Even then. You're a monster, Elena said. Worse than any of us. Maybe, but I'm an honest monster. Andrea checked her watch. We have 4 contestants remaining and 2 rounds left. Elena, you're next. Elena sat in the chair, glaring at me with pure hatred. You want truth? I'll give you truth. I hired a private investigator to dig up dirt on Victoria 3 years ago. I found out she's been in therapy for suicidal ideation. She tried to kill herself twice. I kept that information as blackmail in case I ever needed it. All true. Every word. My darkest secret, exposed to the people I'd spent years hiding it from. The machine beeped. False. The band snapped around Elena's wrists. No. Elena shouted. I told the truth. Victoria, tell them. Tell them it's true. I said nothing, because if I confirmed the truth, Elena would die, or appear to die. But if she died believing I'd saved her life, that changed everything. Victoria, please, Elena begged. I know we're not close, but please, don't let me die like this. The needle extended. It's true, I said. Elena told the truth. I've been suicidal. I've been in therapy. Everything she said is real. The needle plunged into Elena's neck. She convulsed and went still. Claire screamed. Now it was just Claire and me. 2 sisters, one by blood, one by marriage, sitting in a room with 3 apparently dead siblings. It's just us, Claire whispered. Everyone else is gone. 1 more round each, Andrea said. Then we calculate the winner based on accumulated money. I don't want the money, Claire said. I just want this to end. Unfortunately, that's not an option. Claire, you're next. Claire sat in the chair, looking defeated. She'd aged a decade in the past few hours. I don't have any more secrets, she said. I've told everything, about David, about stealing money. I don't have anything left. Then make something up, Andrea suggested. A lie will register as true. You'll earn money and survive. No, Claire said. I won't lie. If this game is about choosing between truth and family, then I choose truth. Always. Claire, don't... I started. Victoria, shut up. You've been lying this whole time, haven't you? You figured out the detector was backwards and you've been manipulating all of us. I was trying to protect... You were trying to win. Just like everyone else. But I'm done playing. Here's my truth. I'm glad Thomas is dead. I'm glad Marcus is dead. I'm glad Elena is dead. They were awful people who made our lives miserable, and I hope they stay dead. The machine analyzed her words. True. Then flickered. False. The band started to close, then stopped. Andrea frowned at the machine. Inconsistent reading, partial truth, partial lie. The system is unsure. Because it's complicated, Claire said. I'm not glad they're dead. I'm horrified. But part of me, a terrible, ugly part, is relieved that the competition is over. That's honest. That's the truth. The machine beeped again. Complex truth detected. $500,000 awarded. $500,000, Andrea said. For genuine emotional honesty. Interesting. Victoria, final round. I sat in the chair for the last time, knowing this was the moment that would define everything. I could lie a big, shocking lie and survive with a fortune. Or I could tell the truth, the real truth, and accept the consequences. I know you're all alive, I said. Thomas, David, Marcus, Elena. I know this is theater. I know Andrea sedated you and you'll wake up fine. I know Jonathan set this up to test our character. The machine beeped. True. The bands didn't close. No needle extended. Andrea smiled, the first genuine emotion she'd shown. Correct. Would you like to explain your reasoning? Jonathan wanted to see if we'd lie to protect each other or tell truths to advance ourselves. The backwards lie detector forced that choice. Every time someone told a painful truth, they were eliminated. Every time someone told a protective lie, they advanced. And what did you learn? That we're all terrible at being a family. We hurt each other for money. We exposed each other's pain for personal gain. We failed every test Jonathan gave us. Did you? I looked at Claire. Except maybe Claire. At the end, she told a complex truth, that she had mixed feelings about our siblings' deaths. She was honest about her ugliness. That's harder than lying or revealing simple truths. What about you? Andrea asked. What did you do? I lied. A lot. I claimed I had affairs and criminal records and all sorts of things that weren't true. I lied to survive because I figured out that's what the game rewarded. But I also told the truth when it mattered. When Marcus admitted embezzlement, when Elena exposed my suicide attempts. I told the truth even though it killed them. Why? Because some truths matter more than survival. Marcus really did steal money. That truth needed to be acknowledged. Elena really did invade my privacy and weaponize my pain. That truth mattered too. Andrea gestured to the covered bodies. And now that you know they're live, how do you feel? Relieved and ashamed, because I was willing to let them die for honesty. What does that say about me? The machine beeped. Complex truth detected. $1,000 awarded. $1 million for genuine self-reflection, Andrea said. Claire, your final thoughts? Claire stood up from her chair. I think Jonathan was cruel. This test, forcing us to choose between truth and family, was designed to make us fail because the answer isn't either or, it's both. Explain, Andrea said. Truth matters. We need honesty in families, but protection matters too. Sometimes you lie to spare someone pain. Sometimes you tell hard truths because they need to hear them. It's not about always choosing one or the other. It's about wisdom, knowing when to do which. And do you think any of you showed that wisdom? No, Claire admitted. We all failed. But maybe that's the point. Maybe Jonathan wanted us to fail together so we'd learn something. What would that be? That we need each other. Flawed and broken and cruel and dishonest as we are, we're still family. And family forgives. The machine beeped. Complex truth detected. $2,000 awarded. $2 million, Andrea said. The highest award yet. Congratulations, Claire, you've won the game. Andrea pressed a button on her tablet. The covered bodies stirred. Thomas sat up first, groggy and confused. What happened? You were sedated, Andrea explained. Along with David, Marcus, and Elena. You're all alive. The executions were theatrical. No one died. One by one, my siblings woke up. David looking around in confusion. Marcus touching his neck where the needle had entered. Elena staring at me with a mixture of relief and fury. Victoria knew, Elena said. She figured it out and let us think we were dying. I had to, I said. If I'd told you, it would have ruined the test. So you chose the test over us. I chose truth over comfort. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? You're still a bitch, Marcus said. But there was less venom in it than before. Andrea cleared her throat. Mr. Harrison left final instructions to be played after the game concluded. The screen flickered to life again. Jonathan's face appeared, but this time he looked older, more tired. This recording had been made shortly before his death. If you're watching this, you've completed the game. Or failed it. Either way, you've learned something about yourselves and each other. I created this test because I was dying, and I wanted to know if you'd learned anything from me. About truth, about family, about the delicate balance between honesty and kindness. The backwards lie detector wasn't meant to trick you. It was meant to force you to choose. Every round you had to decide, do I tell a truth that hurts someone, or do I tell a lie that protects them? There's no right answer to that question. It depends on context, intention, and wisdom. But here's what I noticed. You all defaulted to one extreme or the other. Some of you told vicious truths to advance yourselves. Some of you told protective lies and thought you were being noble. Neither approach is correct. Real family, real love, requires both truth and mercy. You tell hard truths when someone needs to hear them. You tell gentle lies when someone needs to be protected. And you develop the wisdom to know the difference. I hope this game taught you that. I hope you'll treat each other with more grace going forward. Because the inheritance, the real inheritance, isn't money, it's each other. The financial inheritance is distributed as follows. Claire receives the largest share for demonstrating wisdom and emotional honesty. Victoria receives the second largest share for her strategic thinking and willingness to tell painful truths. The rest of you split the remainder equally. But remember, the money doesn't matter as much as what you do with the knowledge you've gained today. Treat each other better, be honest but kind, protect but don't deceive. And maybe, just maybe, become the family I always hoped you'd be. I love you all, even when you disappointed me, especially when you disappointed me, because that meant you still had room to grow. Goodbye, my children. Make me proud. The screen went dark. We sat in silence for a long moment, processing everything. The game, the revelations, Jonathan's final message. Finally, Thomas spoke. I need to apologize. I didn't kill Jonathan. Obviously, I don't know why I said that. I guess I thought it would be shocking enough to earn money. You were playing the game, said. We all were. I really did have an affair with your fiancé, I admitted to Marcus. That part was true, and I'm sorry. I was young and stupid, and I didn't think about how it would affect you. Marcus looked at me for a long moment. I really did hate you for it, for years. But hearing you admit it, seeing you struggle with the truth during this game, I think I can forgive you. Eventually. I did hire a private investigator, Elena said to me. And I did find out about your therapy and suicide attempts, but I never used the information as blackmail. I kept it to myself because I didn't want to hurt you. That was a lie I told during the game. Why tell it then? Because I thought painful truths were worth money. I thought that's what the game rewarded. I was wrong. Claire spoke up. David really is gay. That part was true, and I'm sorry I exposed you like that. I should have protected your secret. David smiled weakly. It's okay. I've been meaning to come out anyway. This just accelerated the timeline. And for what it's worth, my boyfriend and I are very happy. You'll like him when you meet him. I'd like that, Claire said. Andrea distributed documents outlining our inheritances. Claire, $1.2 billion, Victoria, $800 million. Marcus, Elena, Thomas, David, $250 million each. Holy shit, Thomas breathed. Even last place gets $250 million? Jonathan was generous to a fault, Andrea said. He wanted you all to be financially secure, but he wanted you to earn it by becoming better people. Did we? I asked. Become better people? That's not for me to judge, but you're talking to each other, apologizing, forgiving. That's a start. We left the estate together, all 6 of us piling into 2 cars. No one wanted to be alone after what we'd experienced. On the drive back to Denver, Marcus turned to me from the passenger seat. Victoria, thank you. For what? For telling the truth when I confessed to embezzlement. I really did steal that money. I've been living with the guilt for years. Getting killed for it, even fake killed, was actually cathartic, like facing consequences I'd been avoiding. You're welcome, I think. Are you going to return the money? Already planning to. It'll come out of my inheritance, but that seems fair. In the back seat, Elena was on her phone. I'm deleting all the private investigators' files on Victoria. And on the rest of you, I had them investigate everyone. I'm sorry, that was wrong. Thank you, I said. Thomas leaned forward. I have a confession. A real one this time. I've been in love with someone for 3 years, but never told them because I thought the family would disapprove. Her name is Andrea, the estate executor. We all turned to stare at him. You're in love with the woman who just pretend killed us multiple times? Elena said. She didn't kill us. She was following Jonathan's instructions. And yes, we've been dating in secret. I asked her to marry me yesterday. She said yes. That's actually kind of sweet, Claire said. Weird, but sweet. Are you going to invite us to the wedding? David asked. All of you, even you, Victoria. I'll be there, I promised. 6 months later, we gathered for Thomas and Andrea's wedding. All 6 siblings plus partners, plus a few close friends. The ceremony was beautiful, simple, honest. During the reception, we found ourselves sitting together at a table, talking like we hadn't talked in years, maybe ever. Remember the game? Claire said. How awful it was. Every day, Marcus said. I still have nightmares about that needle. But it worked, Elena said. We're actually talking, actually being siblings. We haven't done this since. Ever. Jonathan knew what he was doing, I said. Cruel as it was, it forced us to confront our worst selves, and somehow that made us better. Do you think he'd be proud? David asked. We all considered it. I think he'd be happy we're here, Thomas said. Together, supporting each other. That's what he wanted. To Jonathan, Marcus said, raising his glass. The most manipulative, brilliant, frustrating man who ever lived. To Jonathan, we echoed. We drank, honoring the man who'd put us through hell to teach us how to be a family. Over the next year, we used our inheritances in different ways. Claire started a foundation for suicide prevention and mental health awareness, inspired by my struggles. I funded a program teaching emotional intelligence and conflict resolution to families in crisis. Marcus donated to financial literacy programs, trying to prevent the kind of desperation that had led him to embezzle. Elena established scholarships for private investigators and forensic psychologists, legitimizing the skills she'd once used unethically. Thomas and Andrea created a grief counseling center, helping families process loss without tearing each other apart. David launched an LGBTQ+ youth center, providing support for kids struggling with their identities. We worked together, supported each other's causes, attended each other's events. Slowly, painfully became the family Jonathan had always wanted us to be. 2 years after the game, we gathered at Jonathan's grave for what would have been his 65th birthday. I forgive you, Elena said at the headstone. For the game? For the cruelty? For putting us through hell. You were right. We needed it. I don't forgive you, Marcus said. Not yet. But I understand why you did it. And I'm grateful for the results, even if I hated the process. I'm still angry, I admitted. At you, at myself, at all of us. But anger can coexist with love. I'm learning that. Thank you, Claire said simply, for caring enough to try to fix us, even if your methods were insane. I miss you, David said. I wish you could see who we've become. I think you'd be proud. I know you're proud, Thomas said. Wherever you are, you've got to be. We're finally the family you wanted us to be. It only took emotional torture and fake murder to get there, but we made it. We stood together in silence, 6 siblings who'd survived a nightmare and emerged as something resembling a real family. Same time next year? Claire asked. Same time next year, we agreed. And we kept that promise. Year after year, we gathered at Jonathan's grave, updating him on our lives, on our growth, on the family we'd built from the ruins of the one he'd torn apart. Because that's what family does. They break together, they heal together, and they tell each other the truth, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. That's the real inheritance, not money. Truth and love in balance. The wisdom to know when to be honest and when to be kind. Jonathan had given us that. Through cruelty, through pain, through a game designed to break us, and somehow we'd come out whole. This is Victoria Harrison, reminding you that truth without kindness is cruelty, and kindness without truth is dishonesty. My stepfather created a game where we had to choose between protecting each other with lies or advancing ourselves with truth. He made the lie detector backwards, so honesty led to death and deception led to survival. We failed the game. Every single one of us. We told vicious truth to hurt each other. We told self-serving lies to advance ourselves. We played for money instead of playing for family, but in failing, we learned something. That the real answer isn't truth or kindness, it's truth and kindness. Wisdom to know when honesty helps and when it harms. Grace to protect people when they need protection, and courage to tell them what they need to hear. If this story resonated with you, like and subscribe for more stories about family, inheritance, and the complicated balance between honesty and love. Leave a comment. Would you tell a painful truth or a protective lie? Where do you draw the line? How do you balance honesty with kindness in your family? Remember, the truth can set you free, but it can also destroy everything you love. Use it wisely, use it with compassion, and maybe, just maybe, your family will survive the honesty